We will be deleting records, fields, tables, and try to bring some back from the dead again. Welcome to the world of holistic efficient solutions. As always, this video is uncut. We start from scratch, starting slowly. And we will be adding some people like Alice and Bob and Carol as a surprise. And also the field probably should be called person, and the table we call persons in plural. And since we will link to that table, we duplicate that for reference and pull it over here. And then we make a table called base. We will delete the regular field because we want to have a reference field only, and the reference field will be a person field linked to the person's table and linked to the person field. And also we can add a couple of those, and for example Bob, Carol, Alice links like this. Nothing new so far, but you might wonder what happens to Carol on the left hand side if we delete the referenced cell over here, the Carol like this. And then it shouldn't be much of a surprise, the Carol is gone, and if we double check, it's also not in the drop down list anymore. If we add another record on the right hand side, it has no impact, even if we give it maybe a name like Carol 2, because it is the same rank as before, but nevertheless to Embrace it's a completely different entry and it's not confused by that, but it shows up in the drop down. Nevertheless, there's a small chance reviving Carol, and for that we have to do the factoring in of the reference, and then Carol all of a sudden is there. That is because Carol is not completely destroyed when we delete the record in the persons table. It's just that it's out of the persons table but still floating around somewhere in the background. And by factoring in, we can pull that in and make it visible again. Now we can also undo that, the factoring in, just by selecting again the persons table and the person in there, hitting OK. We'll just add Carol on the right hand side. The rest not, because Alice and Bob have still be in there, but Carol was not. So now we saw what happens when we delete a record in a table that is referenced from somewhere. We can even delete the full field in there, which will have a more crucial impact like this. As you imagined, nothing is visible anymore, and we can also not even change because it's not really referencing somewhere, because the whole field is gone as of now. The only thing you can do in that case, either to delete the field entirely or again factor it in, and then all of a sudden everything is fine again. And now also we can do the same trick as before. We can factor out to the persons table, but not to the field because we deleted the field. So we have to add another field, person. And now you watch out, the moment I click OK on the right hand side, since this is the person's table, we will get a person field, and then we can confirm the linking. And the moment we confirm the linking, those 4 elements show up on the right hand side. We just have to make person visible, and then we will see it. And those 4 dummy fields that have been floating around beforehand, we can just delete them like this. Now you could even delete the whole table like this. This is the most the step having the most impact. Then again, on the left hand side it looks similar. This switches to the base because it's the only table available, and you can again make the factor in, reviving all the people. And then that's where actually we started out at the beginning. Yeah, and there's more to Embrace, but that'll be another story.